G'day everybody. Well, I got my fan today from China. Thought it might take a while, but sometimes they fly things over, so it doesn't take too long than shipping. And when you're a first buyer to this buyer I brought off, you get parts for the inverter. You get a cheap deal, a really good cheap deal. In fact, if everyone was just first buyers, they would lose a lot of money. But they do certain things like this, so you buy more from them, right? But obviously they sell parts to a lot of companies more than just people, you see. And so they're giving out like samples cheaply. That's how I see it. And that's usually how it goes. And so the first one cost me $3 if you just get one thing, as I've mentioned before. And I've received it today. In fact, I'll just quickly go grab it. Forgot to grab it. Into here. And I've also got a switch as well. And waiting on another one. The fan, which is another fan, that fan I cleaned too, is sounding loud as I have it on a lot because of the kitty litter in there. But I've got the fan turned, this is it here. And so the other fan I'm going to pull out and to usually stop the squealing. Here's a little technique I've tried, but probably don't try this yourselves. But it's something that you can do to get away with things. But you got to make sure you know what you're doing and you check things for a while to make sure it's all good. But with the fan, I've already pressure washed it, right? It's an old fan. So it's like I've mentioned before, ages ago clip, when I cleaned it. And now it's still got the like, it's getting louder, it's coming back, right? And to stop that, it's either the bearing's wearing out, so when they get smaller, they start making noises and that. Usually it's a other kind of noise. But that's usually a rust as well. The rust, you get rust build up on it, which is what I cleaned off and scrubbed. But it comes back, and that rust comes back within it, and it goes, and that's why when you clean it off, you get it good again for a bit, but then the rust comes back. And so to stop the rust coming back, you can spray what you spray the grease oil, what you spray on bolts and stuff like that, the grease things or springs, right? The grease up springs, and then I was like, and you spray some of that in there, and then you wash it again with some water. Make sure that it's a very thin layer of it, right, when it comes to these electric engines that spin. Because if it's thick enough where it's, and there's only a little gap, right, very tiny gap, if it's thick enough and that's all oil in there, you'll turn it on, you'll seize it up, and it won't really work, or you'll get problems, right? And so you got to make sure, or even a fire can start, right? So you got to make sure that it's a very thin layer if you got to go do it, and you'll have to do it every now and then. It won't last too long, but it'll last several months, right? I'd put in, usually. Depends on how you do it. And you spray it all with your spray, and then you give it all a nice good pressure wash to get in all those gaps. Make sure definitely around the motor when you spray it in there, and then make sure you give it a good spray again. And then try it again, and that's what I've done before, and it works. And you'll get it whisper quiet. But make sure you know a bit of electronics, and make sure you watch it for a while and do certain safety tests when it comes to that. Doing things like that. Another big grunter. But here's the fan here. And back to the fan thing. And I make sure things aren't a scam and stuff like that. So a lot of things can be scams. So you hear a lot of things that sounds, oh, that's a very good deal. And that means it could be not true, right? Definitely a $3 one. But they do happen, right? But there's more scammers out there than good deals. And so I made sure, with just losing it was $2 something, but we'll say $3, that, and see how long it took, and it took within 2 weeks, didn't take long at all. Can't remember exactly that, but it didn't take too long. Then ordering here in Australia, how long you can wait coming from Queensland and stuff like that. So, and so I keep certain things until I know that it's all good. And now I know that they are, as I've already been scammed with my nephew Josh from staying. You see him really good computer chairs that are worth a few $100. You could have got it from Hong Kong or something for $60 a chair, delivered and everything. I'm like, alright, sounds too good to be true, Josh, but hey, if you order them, order me one. If we get them, you know, we'll have cheap chairs, but I don't think it's going to be right. And in the end, no chairs ever turned up. So we both lost some money. That'll be something I'll fix him up because he's left before I can fix him up on that, and we're still waiting on these chairs, you see, but I don't think they're coming. Yeah. But anyway, besides all that, that's why you got to watch things. And I've seen people go through it besides myself, and why we have money in different accounts too, because they scam out of your account, so you make sure you transfer over. Is a wise thing to do to the account that you use to buy things from. So that way it's in the minimum. When scammers try to go scam you, besides the products, they all scam your products if you're stupid. But at least when it comes to your money, right? Because a lot of times they do good deals just to get your account numbers and try to scam your bank. But anyway, the normal deal is to get these for about $17. If you pay the normal price with delivery and everything, it's nearly $17, $16 something. So I'm rounding that off to $17. Is how much the next one's going to cost, which I've ordered again because there's 2 fans in this inverter, and only one's playing up, but eventually the other one will. So I thought if I'm going to stop it, the inverter plays up when I turn it off. It'll be 12 hours before I get it back on. It does that. It started 3 times now, 2-3 times. So I know it doesn't. It is 3. Yeah, it's 3 times now because I accidentally turned it off the other day, a few days back. I had to wait 12 hours again. So it does it no matter what, even if it's been running good for a bit. It's a new glitch it's got now in that inverter. But I could deal with that as long as everything runs good. Just when it turns off now, it has to do a blink showing you, and you pray to God that it comes back on. Because when things like that are working, you don't know when it's just going to do that forever, right? And so just in case, I'm going to do everything right at once. So I'm going to replace both fans. There's nothing worse than replacing the one, and then the other one's going to do it. Then you go through the same thing again, then it might not start the next time, And so I'm going to get another fan. And when that gets here, and another switch, 2 switches, because we only need one, but the other ones get a bit old. And over time, like I've talked about, when it comes to the switches, they get a bit dodgy. And so I'm going to replace the both switches, so there's no power problems when it comes to coming to the inverter and cooling it. And then go from there, and that'll be in another week or 2 when I get these parts. But another quick thing is why I also wanted to buy, which I mentioned when Emma ordered it for us, because I get Emma to order a lot of things for her. It saves me time, and I need glasses when it comes to squinting at TVs too long. I sort of get a headache and hard to see. So that's why I used to wear glasses when I was younger, and I should be still wearing them, but I stopped wearing them because I kept breaking them. So that's the glasses story. But when it comes to the fan now, so all up, $17, and I believe these fans are worth at least $15. 10 will be a good deal. Obviously, that's a cheap, good deal, and definitely if it's a good product, I don't want cheap and it's not going to last. As a little plastic item, and the size of it, and how I see, what you put into it, to $15, right? Definitely with inflation now and whatever the cost. But over 20, I'd be going, that's too much. Right, I'm working on it. Come on, that's just getting ridiculous. These things used to be always under 10, right, back in the day. And why is it inflate? Obviously, it's inflation. And if it's more than double or over the inflation cost is what you think, right, then you go, it's just too much. And some places, when you go to look up things, are like that. You'd have one have 17, and the other one says 26, and another one says 43. You go, what the? And they just go, oh, we only got 3 in stock. Right? And it's a slightly different brand or something like that sometimes, and they can be way out in different prices for different reasons. But a lot of them could be scammers just putting it up because they can. If they sell, they'll go, well, we're selling it, why put it down? Right? So it's up to the buyers. That's why certain prices go up too. They want to, and how desperate you end up getting them and all that so on. But in the end, hopefully I'm just try not to cough. Let any of these tickles get to me. I'm spending $20 for 2, so it's $10 a piece. I feel good in mind that I didn't not underpay, and I got a good deal at $10 a piece for 2 of them, because they did a good deal for the promo. And in the future, and if it was me and I needed more parts, I'd probably still go through them if I still had the parts running, and they'd done their job. You know what I mean? Hello everybody, have a good one, and I thought I'll let you know what's happening with the inverter. Every now and then I've got to go in there. On average now it's about twice a day in the morning. It tends when it cools and heats up. It tends to the fan when it turns off and off. Been playing up once to twice in those moments. So 2 to 4 times on average the last few days. So you just got to go in there and flick it. So I get woken up in the morning to get it going again and propel the fan. It's like, all right, I'm gonna get the engine started, and I go, and it goes, and it goes, because it goes to go and jam. So that's what it's doing, because it's just sitting on top. But anyway, see you later, and bye bye. And I'll let you know when that's done and talk about that then.